What's up, y'all? Just got done at the gym. I just want to have a quick little video and talk to you guys real quick. This video is going to be addressing all black men. This is a video for black men. So if you are not a black man, you can watch it, but this video isn't really for you. It's not directed towards you. However, you can learn something from it and gain something from the perspective, okay, to possibly help the situation. But this is for black men. I am a black man, so obviously I feel like I know what it's like to be a black man, and I feel like I can speak to other black men. So I'm not gonna hold any bars here. No holds barred. Black man in America, particularly black man from America, born in America, you are an enemy. You are the enemy. You are a target. Okay? Now, this is up for debate, but at the same time, it really isn't. The truth of the matter is you are an enemy of the state. Now, before I really go into it, and it's not going to be a long video, I just have a couple things I want to say. I want to say that, black man, you have to also know that you are the father of humanity. Okay? So, that's fact. The black man is the father of humanity. The black woman is the mother of humanity. This is science. This is proven. Okay? So the first thing you need to know is that regardless of your social status in any particular time period, you will always be and have always been the progenitor and the father and creator of all life. All life started with a black man, before even a black woman. I mean, if we want to go biblical, we could say that the black man Adam, we know Adam, and we know he was black. We do know that. Let's not play any games, okay? Even though they paint Adam and Eve as white people, this isn't a racial issue, but come on. If science tells you that the first human beings were in Africa, dark-skinned individuals, how then were Adam and Eve white? But on a side note, all humanity comes from the black man. Black man plants a seed in black woman. Genetic differences happen, lighter skin, relocation, all these type of things that we know. But the first human beings were black. So black man, although you are the enemy, I do want you to know that you are the father of civilization. So that is a certain honor that has certain responsibilities, but that you should always wear. So you should always be aware of the two things that seem completely opposing. On one hand, you are the enemy here in America and many places abroad. But on the same token, you are the father of everyone who hates you. Okay? So now, the reason why I say you're the public enemy, there could be a million examples, but I'm just going to speak about the most recent. Now, as we know, Bill Cosby, I think it was yesterday, he was charged, or should I say he was found guilty on the charges that were brought up against him. As we know, Bill Cosby has had a number of charges placed against him for sexual misconduct, and yesterday he was found guilty on at least 3 charges. He's facing at least 10 years. He's like an 80-year-old man, so it's not good for him, right? But I'm not here to talk about whether or not Bill Cosby did it, because obviously I wasn't even born when a lot of these things happened, and I never even met Bill Cosby. But I do want to say a few things here, okay? This is my perspective. Obviously everybody's giving their opinion on Bill Cosby and all this type of stuff, but this is my perspective. The first time I saw Bill Cosby was in the pudding pop commercials. My cousin was actually in a Jello commercial, and everybody knows Bill Cosby, the pudding, so he used to do that, right? And my cousin was in the commercial. I knew about Bill Cosby from then, and then I saw him on the Cosby Show, Fat Albert, you know. And then when I was like 11 or 12, Bill Cosby came out, and he was just condemning young black men. I didn't understand it. From that moment on, I didn't like him, because I was 11 or 12 and I just knew he was addressing young black men, and he was telling us, y'all need to pull y'all pants up. Y'all don't read no books. Y'all just a bunch of thugs. And he was speaking to us, it seemed like, from a place of condemning as opposed to understanding and trying to uplift. which I didn't understand coming from an older black man. That's a different conversation about the generational gap, okay? But as far as Bill Cosby, when he was speaking to us about pulling our pants up and this and that, and you could go look it up, it was some years back, I just felt like, wow, here's a black man with so much authority, so much merit, so much respect in the world, and he could use that to shed light on the plagues of the black community. He could shed light on, you know, destroying white supremacy and the ideologies that follow. He could, you know, speak to us in a manner that maybe we could understand, so that maybe we'll then do better. But what it seemed like he was doing was condemning us. So moving forward, of course he was charged, and when he was charged, I said, well, whatever, you know. That was my first reaction, whatever. I don't know if he did it or not, but the last time I saw him, he was talking shit to black people, so I don't care, right? But then I thought about it, and I saw the uproar of him being charged, and then in consequence, the uproar of him, you know, getting found guilty, and I was just looking, and everybody was guilty, and even the women who were supposedly assaulted by him were just smiling and cheering. And now, I'm not here to tell anyone how to grieve or how to react to certain things or being sexually assaulted, but I would think that if someone I knew was sexually assaulted, or if I was sexually assaulted, and the person who sexually assaulted me was found guilty, I don't think I would just be like laughing and celebrating. I think it would be more of an internal thing where I'm like, you know, man, and I'm reflecting, and I'm happy that it happened. I'm happy that justice was served, but I'm not just jumping for joy, because it doesn't stop what happened to me, right? So I say that to say that it's funny how they're acting with Bill Cosby, but it's back again to this black man conversation. The black man is not allowed to be great in America, particularly. Okay, there's a number of people I could name, and I'm not going to name a million people, but all of our high-ranking celebrities, or all of our black people that we look up to, our idols or whatnot, whether it be in, you know, historians, whether it be scholars, whether it be activists, athletes, comedians, whether it be actors, musicians, all of them seemingly that reach a certain plateau seem to have some kind of controversy that follows them, and it seems to put like an asterisk on their name. So what happens is, like for instance, let's just say, hey, Kobe Bryant, he's one of my favorite basketball player, Kobe Bryant. Now, Kobe Bryant was charged, or he was charged with rape, but he was not found guilty of it. He was found innocent. So the judicial system found Kobe Bryant innocent, this black man innocent. However, to this day, when people speak about Kobe Bryant, they inevitably bring up the rape trial, even though he was found not guilty of it. Now, sure, he may have cheated on his wife, which she admitted to, but if his wife forgave him, why aren't we? So I say that to say, here's just one example of a black man who put 20 plus years of his life into his profession, you know, stayed out of trouble for the most part, got into one little thing, and they hold it over his head forever. So 40 years from now, when you look up Kobe Bryant, you're going to see he was a rapist. Now let's talk about who else. Let's just say, I don't know, Bob Marley, another great black person, right? Out of all the great things that Bob Marley did to try to bring races together, he tried to get people to celebrate life. He tried to get people to praise God, right? Out of all those things he did, what do people say when they mention Bob Marley? Oh, he was a weed head. He just smoked weed and had a bunch of kids out of wedlock. Martin Luther King, our great historian, when they speak about him, many people will say, oh, well, he was an adulterer. He cheated on his wife, even though they don't know that. Malcolm X, many people say he was gay secretly. Mind you, all these things happened after they died, but these things that they put by our name, they never go away, because the court of a public opinion, they're never going to live that down. Prince just died last year. The news came out that it says that he overdosed on drugs. Michael Jackson, another famous black man. Now, he was a pedophile. These are all the charges that they've given us. Mind you, these are all black men. All of our great black men. So, I hope you're starting to see the pattern. And I'm not saying that these men did or did not do the things that they were charged with, but I find it mighty a mighty coincidence that these things are blown out of proportion, and they're almost as large as the accomplishments that they've accomplished. So, for instance, why is it that when we speak about somebody like George Washington, the guy on our dollar bill, you know, our first president, why don't we say he owned slaves? He was a slave master who didn't pay for the services that he received. Why do we call him great? Why do we call Elvis great when we know he was a racist? Why do we call all the other people of different races great, and we seemingly throw all their controversy under the rug, but when it comes to a black man in society, no matter how hard he tries, there's always some controversy that's stuck to his name? I'm hard-pressed to find one great black man that has done something of merit to uplift black people, whether it be physically, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, you know, that doesn't have some controversy by their name. So like I said, in 50 years from now, when you mention that great person, you're also going to mention the controversy that either brought them down, killed them, sent them to jail, or embarrassed them. Floyd Mayweather, great boxer, right? Undefeated, 50 wins, 0 losses. But when they bring him up, they say he's a woman beater. They say he can't read. So we have to understand the psychological warfare that's going on, because again, when America first started, hey, we were shooting and lynching niggas. Excuse my language, but that's exactly what they called us. I didn't make the word up. We were lynching niggas or niggers. We were shooting niggers. We were cutting niggers' feet off and raping the women and all this. They can't do that anymore. And then they fast forward, they put the sign up and said, niggers, no niggers here, and this and that. But they can't do that anymore. So now they have to be psychologically able to destroy your confidence. Not only destroy your confidence psychologically, but they also have to turn the court of public opinion against you. They have to get the majority of people to believe the narrative that they have thrown out against you, so that they can support that narrative, right? Because if just one person says, hey, I don't like that guy, it's not much of a deal. But if he gets 100 people around to say, yeah, we don't like that guy, it becomes an issue now, right? So as a black man, I felt it necessary to make the observation that, wow, I can't really name one black person that has done something great that hasn't also had a controversy attached to his name. Now, again, this isn't to say that they did or didn't do anything, and I'm not saying that they were set up, although it's a possibility for many of them. But what I am saying is, for black men, I need you to understand that it is possible to be great. I need you to know that the story that is in the Bible about the man that they call Christ, that's a story about a black man. And yes, of course that's up for debate as well, but let's just be honest. If he looked like the pictures, the white guy in the pictures, if Jesus Christ looked like the white guy in the pictures, and he really came down to earth and he was healing the blind, walking on water, turning water to wine, right? Do you really think they would kill him and spit on him and throw rocks at him if he was a white man with blonde, beautiful, long hair? No, they would make him president. They would give him his own company. It's only when, and it even says in the story, of course they're not going to say he was a Negro, because then many people would throw the Bible away and lose all the wisdom. But if you look between the lines, it's saying he came as a slave. It's saying he came to a people that were oppressed. It's saying he was hung on a tree, okay? Acts 30, by the way. These are things that were said. It says that the society didn't accept him. It says that his own people turned against him and spit on him and turned him in. What other people will turn on their own except black people? Let's just be honest. Black people are in America, not even Africans, because Africans and like Nigerians of their own country, they stick together. Black people in America are the only people that will turn on their own to side with another race, just so that they can feel accepted. So that's why the story of Jesus Christ was a black man. So again, to all black men, I need you to understand, they're going to hate you. You're never going to fit in as a black man, or woman, to be honest. But as a black man, you're never going to just, be equal. We're always looking for equality. That's never going to happen. It's either going to be they're going to talk shit about you or they're going to admire you. There's no in between. They either completely hate you or they completely love you. And on a side note, I did want to mention this. Speaking of the flipping of the coin when the black man is admired, the only time that I see a black man admired in America is when he has a ball in his hands. Whether it's a basketball, a baseball, a football, that's the only time I see a black man honestly praised and admired for his natural skills and characteristics. Like LeBron James, I saw LeBron James the other day hit a game-winning three-pointer at the buzzer to win a playoff game, and he ran and jumped up on the stand and just put his hands out, in the whole stand, thousands of white men and women just screaming in it at admiration. That is the only time a black man will receive that love from anyone, much less thousands of people at once. Now think about that. With that being said, of course I don't want to take too much of your time, but this is a message to all black men. Love yourself, love your brother, love your queen, love your children, and let's restore peace on earth. And with that being said, I love you very much. Please vibrate higher.